Hello and good evening and welcome back. For All Mankind, Season 5, Episode 1, First Light is over in 2026. But here in 2026, on Live Long and Podcast, we're just getting started. That's right. We're covering the show when it actually comes out. Whether you're joining us live on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or catching the audio version wherever you get your podcasts, our mission to rewatch, or I guess to watch every episode of For All Mankind continues, one Mars murder mystery at a time. And now here's the guy who just lived through another 9-year time jump in a little under 3 minutes. And I gotta say, I'm a little sad about Massey. She's in the slammer. I'm your host, Dave Mader. And Season 5 drops us into 2012. Earth, Mars, they've changed drastically. There's an asteroid thing going on. And we're going to break it all down. We're back. The team is back. The crew is assembled. And we're here to break it all down. Coming in first. If there's a moral boundary, he's measuring who crossed it. Whether it's political overreach, corporate ambition, or a questionable override code, he's got the verdict. Just don't serve him a bad plate of Baldwin spaghetti. That's when the real chaos begins. It's Kevin Millard.
Hey, Dave. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad we're all back. I don't really have strong feelings about this episode, though. Either way.
Okay, very neutral, very mid coming in on Kevin.
Yep.
Kevin Midlard, they call him now. Coming in next here, stylish as ever, she's clocked the emotional shockwaves rippling through a latest life, the Mars murder mystery, the family tension, the visit to Margot, also in the slammer. When personal meets the political, she feels every beat. It's Heather Narduzzi.
Hello all, very happy to be back, and I do have strong feelings about this episode, and the feeling is...
Well... thanks, Heather. Looking great. Love the.
Thank you. I have just come from the symphony. I attended the performance by Symphony New Brunswick of Beethoven's Symphony Number 9 in D minor this evening, and it was very wonderful. And I would like to give some props to Symphony New Brunswick, who have just been ranked number 2 in Canada by the Canada Council for the Arts and secured a lot of funding as a result. So we have a world-class symphony here, and I'm very proud of that. Wonderful.
Wait, who's number one?
Go back to the symphony, then go to Mars. Let me tell you.
Who's number one?
I don't know. They wouldn't let me ask.
Okay.
It's got to be Ontario. All right, let's transition then. Well, he's a union man with an eye on every crack forming in Happy Valley. If the peacekeepers tighten their grip or the workers start pushing back, he's already mapping the pressure points. Jeff Mader, everyone.
Hey, you know what? It was okay. It was kind of what I expected. It was, from the previews and everything, I was like, it's going to be like an extension of season 4, and I was right.
Well, I guess, every season a little bit of an extension of the last one, although we get a new decade in everyone on this show. Speaking of which, he watched Margot get hauled off in handcuffs and thought, honestly, that might be the best case scenario. When alliances shift, and in this premiere, they shift fast, he's already charting the new power grid. Adam Woodward, everyone.
Hey, guys.
He's excited, everyone. We don't even need to hear it.
Whoa, settle down. Save it all for the review.
I will save it. I'll save it. All I can say is what happened and why the hell and how can he possibly put his name on the show anymore? Ronald D. Moore. I'm so disappointed.
Okay, well, Adam's not super thrilled with the coming in here, but here's the matter I think will be. If a system breaks, he's the first to tell you why and how it should have worked. From Dev's tech to Helios's infrastructure, he's got the diagnostic. Jody Simpson, everyone.
Hello, Dave. How are you?
I'm good,
I'm not going to
Jody.
shit on this episode like everybody else has.
Oh, good. Okay.
I probably will. But
you can if you want. I didn't make the show, so I don't feel the need to defend it. We just here to talk about it. So, but welcome, Jody, and welcome to the whole, the whole crew here assembled tonight to talk about another season of For All Mankind. This is the 41st episode, of course, overall of the show that aired actually on Friday. So we're covering it a couple days later here. March 27th, 2026 is when it came out. The premiere, no surprise, written by the showrunners Matt Wolpert and Ben Nadivi, and directed by Sarah Boyd, who will also direct the next episode. So it's 2012 now, everyone. Happy Valley's grown into this big colony of now 5,000 residents, including some refugees called Craters who have arrived illegally and have been granted asylum. Earth's economy is strained. We got President Bragg saying Earth first. Forget these Martians. Ed Baldwin is about 1 million years old now. He's battling cancer, which we find out.
300. Yeah.
He lives under house arrest because he can't actually go back to Earth. You got Aleda Rosales, now the CEO of Helios, struggling to balance her life and her career, seemingly. And you got Alex, who is grown up now, and he's kind of like, I don't know, he might be the next generation. Huh? He's there. He's there. And he's not taking any of his mom's shit. That's what's up. Or his grandpa, for that matter. What else can he say? He sometimes crashes. He finds dead bodies. He sees dead people. And there's all just one. But
The real question is, how big is the penis?
that is the big question, and we never get an answer. So I don't know.
Personally, I thought that was the most riveting part of the whole episode.
Yeah. What else can we talk about in this premiere? I guess. We'll run through all the screenshots. We'll talk about everything that's happened or not happened in this timeline as a result. Okay.
May
So we
I
got.
elaborate on my opening remark of?
You may.
Okay.
I don't know. It kind of sums it up with it, but
I was being dramatic. I didn't hate it, but
you dramatic?
no, never.
Oh my, that can't be.
So, I mean, I didn't hate it, but it's very much a setup episode. You know, we have to. Adam's reaction. We have to get to know, as Dave said, the next generation. We have to get to know the new characters. There were definitely some good things about it. I loved Ed being saucy with his ankle monitor and just like beeping it because he's not allowed to come in. And I liked Margot and Aleda talking. Aleda looks great. I love her outfit and her hair and her CEO power position. So, I mean, there were some things to like, but I remember the first season when I could not get enough of this show and it was riveting, and I don't feel that way about it anymore. So I hope they're going to jack up the stakes. What do y'all think?
I think they're too in love with their characters, and they love putting them in different rooms and just having dialogue scenes all the time, and the plot never really moves. That's what I noticed. I mean, this is a premiere episode. You got to give me something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's gotta be something exciting. Like the way that this episode ended was like, you're like, okay, so there's another scene, right? And it's like, oh no, that's it. You know, it's like,
sorry to interrupt you, Jody, but listen,
Feel
Heather,
free.
I'm so tired of the setup of this fucking show. And
Eight episodes.
And then they
set up.
skip over the payoff.
Yeah. They're like yada yada yada. Something blew up. Who knows? You know.
Another scene with Ed and his daughter, and
we've been setting up for 4 seasons now, guys.
Kelly might find life.
No,
Probably
she's been
not.
looking for 10 years. Okay, I thought that was very stupid. Why would she continue to look if she hasn't had any success over 10 years? Come on.
because
Yeah.
everyone
Everyone
else
had the
is
episode.
stupid, and she is on to something.
No,
Probably
they
not.
said
Maybe.
the explanation was that they're not using a good enough data set to be able to figure out where things are anyway. So she's chasing ghosts basically. So
I wish
Wow.
there were some ghosts on Mars because it would make
That would've
the
been
show
cool.
more fun.
Watch, the
There-
key is going to be the kid. The kid is going to have some sort of power because he's a Martian, and he's going to be able to go into some cave.
he's the
And
one that
that,
can press
you
the
know-
button that makes everything into water and air.
Like, that's what's going to happen. I can
Oh,
almost
I can't wait.
guarantee you. Like,
No, it
like
won't. They're not that imaginative.
An Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from 30 plus years ago is still a better Mars story.
oh, Total Recall is a great story.
I know. I like it.
I just weigh in with sort of with my reaction to it, which was I felt like there wasn't like for a premiere, not enough of a splash. I thought it was a few things I was sort of let down by. I guess mainly being like we already kind of knew what had happened, right? Like, or what was going to happen even by the end of season 4. So there, I don't feel like we get a lot of new information. I think the main thing I was like sort of not loving. I knew that Miles Dale was going to be back. Toby Kebbell playing that character again. I like, you know, like we all I think thoroughly disliked him through season 4, and they're really trying hard here to like make him a new kind of a character, a more likable character.
They even lit him differently. They've done something to him to make him more, I don't know, likable, I guess.
Palatable.
Yeah,
palatable.
Can I say that the scene where Toby and is that his wife? Or is that right? His wife is with him. I was getting like serious Deep Space Nine vibes. Like it is basically the promenade.
Yes,
you know,
totally.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, okay, so they're doing like Deep Space Nine season 7, and you know, like that's kind of how I felt. You know, like it was like we have a Domino's pizza, we got a Starbucks, we got like they're like building the set of Deep Space Nine,
right?
But it's like not as cool. You know, so
and it's sponsored by Domino's.
Sponsorship from the
it's sponsored
day.
by it's sponsored by
Domino's.
Starbucks.
I don't know how many times they got that sign in there, but
you can go to Ilya's restaurant and bar on the promenade. Yeah, I guess like so they're like, well, we don't have to like spend money this season like emulating a past decade. So what will we spend our money on? Okay, I guess a bigger set on Mars. It's almost like this bigger space station and a colony, and trying to make that more feasible. I think like 3 seasons of this Mars storyline, the growing of the colony, I think is probably moving too slow for a lot of the audience, Adam maybe in particular. I think like, would we be better off jumping like 20 years or 30 years so that we can actually do something a little bit more of the next step is kind of what I'm starting to think. But
what jump gets rid of what's her name in jail?
Margot.
Yeah, whatever jump gets rid of her, I'm for.
So you gotta wait. You gotta wait till next season.
I get the Margot storyline. I'm kind of like wondering where that's going now.
It's done. Like, why are we still dealing with this?
I guess because she's been a main character we've had
again. No, there's gonna be some emergency that gets her out of jail.
She'll end up on Mars by the end of the season, I think.
And die. They got renewed for a 6th and final season. Margot's going to die for sure. And if Ed Baldwin doesn't die, I'm going to flip this table. Like, seriously. He's 7,000 years old.
And he has cancer. And I'm like, they're kind of like talking about all the radiation exposure on Mars. And I'm like, I think all these astronauts would have cancer, like to varying degrees. Like, we don't see Danielle. I don't know if she'll be in this season at all, but I imagine like how much radiation all of these astronauts going back to the Apollo program would have been irradiated. And we see some interesting like ideas on how they deal with that now in this version of 2012, we'll call out. But yeah, I don't know. It's hazardous material, hazardous lifestyle, I guess, up there in Mars. So I don't know. Yeah.
In the show, I'm just looking at this. This is now 2030?
2012.
No, 2012.
Oh, 2012. Okay. All right. Because Ed Baldwin was born in 1929.
Yeah, so he's
pushing 90.
He's 80 something.
He's 82.
Yeah. He's 82.
He's 82 on Mars.
Paul McCartney's like 80 something.
My dad's 82, but he's not on Mars. So,
well, I like this idea that he got tried in absentia, that he would like so because they're like he can't go back to Earth, he'll die, and that does make sense.
He's basically in a prison anyway.
Yeah,
in
a sense,
like. Yeah, like being
no, he's having a great time. He's up there antagonizing people, growing space weed. He's got the run of the place. He's having a wonderful time.
I do think
space weed is.
I do think a theme of this season is going to be prison. Like you saw it in this episode, like with the whole Margot stuff, but like also where they are, and it's not talked about enough, is basically a giant prison.
Yeah.
You know, like it really is. You know, because they can't leave, and there's no going outside, and even when you go outside, it sucks. You know, like there's a lot of
the theme is definitely reinforced by Alex watching the beach on the VR headset. You know,
Right.
I had forgotten that he can't leave Mars because he's a Mars baby. Like even if he wanted to, he can't leave. But that was really genuinely moving. Like maybe the only part in the episode that I felt really sad for one of the characters when I remember he's watching the beach and he is dreaming about never being able to do that. You know, so I agree with you, Jeff. Prison.
Well, Margot's in prison.
It's like Miles's daughter there too. You know, I'm going to go to Earth and learn journalism and come back. Why? You know, it's like I can imagine people leaving small towns and saying, "Oh, I'll be back." No, you won't.
Well, sometimes they do. Sometimes they come back.
Heather, did you go back?
To Labrador? Yeah, once a year for a week.
There it is.
There you go.
It's just about as difficult to get there as it is to get to Mars. So,
right. And I guess the other thing that's I keep coming back to is Massey and the fact that she went to prison. Well, the rest of them didn't. Like basically, like Dev seems like he didn't face any consequences whatsoever. Ed got like an ankle bracelet and got to stay on Mars, and Massey like seems like the one who got the most. Like. I don't know. Like, is that whereas all the rioters got amnesty from Al Gore?
That sounds like something Al Gore would do.
Maybe he would. I don't know. Anyway, lots to break down in the episode. Are you guys ready to jump in?
let's get at it.
Okay, it's always. I know there's a lot to break down here in the 9-year time jump. Al Gore was the president. But he was not too popular after that asteroid got stolen by Ed Baldwin and the rest of them. So the Democratic convention did not go so well. I guess they still nominated him, but along with his vice president Wellstone, don't know who that's a reference to. I'm guessing a real life person. Anyway, the people on Earth are not too happy. Earth comes first. And Gore's got to go. So he, I guess, gets voted out. After one term, they brought back Vice President Bragg, who was the vice president under Ellen in the first term. We really only saw him, I guess, in season 3, right? Until now, he apparently came at this and became the next president. After the whole Goldilocks thing, North Korea got kicked out of the M7. Even though the North Korean government had nothing to do with any of that. So the M7 became the M6, basically after this. Whereas a bunch of the cosmonauts, including Lee in particular, got asylum on Mars. They used some name for the Korean astronauts it was kind of a different one, but anyway, Goldilocks mining, the stock market, the Red Sox never beat the Curse of the Bambino, Jeff, in the 2004 World Series.
I gotta say, I do really like the start of the season montages with the news, the combo of real and alternate timeline news. That feels true to the spirit of the show.
Yeah, I don't know if I got the screenshot of it, but they're like, in this timeline, Hurricane Katrina, because there's less of this climate change effect, didn't happen. It was a tropical storm, and it didn't have the devastation that it did.
And did you get a screenshot of Lennon plays a show with someone?
With Jay-Z, yeah.
Jay-Z!
Right, I do have that in a moment. But Massey, as we mentioned, she was found guilty of the conspiracy. Ed Baldwin, who said, he got house arrest on Mars. He got 10 years. But it's pretty
a great picture of him, by the way. I love it.
Amazing.
We know Margot went to jail at the end of last season, so she's not too popular in America. Bragg became the president. Al Gore, this concession speech for when he conceded in real life to George W. Bush, dubbing over. We still got Talladega Nights. If you ain't first, you're last. Yeah. That still happened in this timeline, so that's good.
That's
I'm
happy
what
for
else?
that.
They started going after all that CIA and KGB torturing on Mars, and they said that maybe we shouldn't be doing that. That's part of this Happy Valley riot, I guess. Pardon that we get here from Al Gore before he leaves office. Then Bragg comes in. He's saying, like, we can't keep
that headline. I was just looking.
Yep.
Happy Valley riot remains lightning rod for Earth comes first movement. Okay.
Yeah. So Bragg's president. He's like, we can't keep sending all this money to the moon and Mars without getting anything back. We see that there's kind of like a counter to the M6 nations alliance now. I guess kind of similar in real life to, like, I guess BRICS and something. Like, so we got China and Brazil, and they name a couple other countries that are part of this. Pakistan, I think, that are like I guess like going against these other 6 nations that are
Like
kind of
the
controlling.
BRICS.
Like the BRICS. It's like the space version of BRICS. There's the Chinese are starting to get into the game, and along with some other nations.
They're making penises to shoot in the air.
Yeah, like they figured
That's
that out.
not
too.
even the only penis in this episode.
No. There's quite a few references, actually.
It may not even be the largest one. We don't know. They never tell us.
Yeah. Then, yes, as you mentioned, John Lennon and Jay-Z played the Grammys together and won Album of the Year.
First of all,
I don't
this
know
is-
why
this is the most
anyone would
offensive
pay
thing
to
in the
see this.
episode.
The
What?
aged up John Lennon looks like Getty Lee.
I know. I'm like, why is John Lennon Getty Lee now? Like,
Geddy Lee.
Geddy Lee, and also John Lennon would never collab with Jay-Z. Like, come on.
no. Well, I don't know. The Gray Album. It was called the Gray Album, Jeff. And
That's cool though.
Yeah. Anyway, so
What, the Gray album part?
No, I would watch that.
I wouldn't. I would watch John Lennon, but I would look down on him.
I would
I'd be like, what
never
are you
watch
doing?
this.
is beneath.
Jeff says I would watch it, but I would hate it.
I would hate watching the hell out of it.
He's too much of a Beatles fan not to.
yeah. Anyway, this happened in 2005 on this timeline. Daniel Stern also not back this season.
Gotta go back to being a wet bandit.
But of course Bragg wouldn't keep Stern, or what was his name? Is the lead
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, no one
Whatever.
season.
Eli.
Eli. Yeah.
One
Like,
season contract. That's what this was.
yeah. They're like, he's not back. And we're like, okay, yeah, sure.
Brad Treliving just got fired for the Leafs.
This is the whole Hurricane Katrina not being the tropical storm. In this timeline, Jeff, the Montreal Expos moved to Portland, Oregon for some. They still moved because they outbid Washington to be the home of this new team. But
And
Montreal.
you see on the left-hand side, Michael Jordan's addition to ownership group key to City's bid.
Oh, so he helped bring. But I guess
Michael Jordan owns Portland
Maine
now.
or Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. It's got to be not
Gotta
Portland,
be
Maine.
Oregon. Yeah, it would be.
Anyway, so the little thing there. What's this headline about?
From shifts to sundresses. Ooh.
Ooh, okay, yeah. Growing demand.
Summer's here, guys.
Summer's here.
Ellen Wilson does not appear in this episode, but she does. She is selling a memoir. Everyone,
Is she going to be in the season?
God,
I don't know. They,
Yeah.
I feel like this is a.
they bought her a wig, so maybe
Yeah.
for this
They bought
season.
her a
So,
wig.
That's not a wig. They just sprayed her hair gray and brushed it through.
She's
okay,
going to be
well,
in the season, I think.
God, I hope not.
okay. These are the radiation shields that they apparently installed on Mars. Like these, like they're apparently like have a magnetic field coming out of them, and that's sort of hovering above the habitats. I don't know if this is scientifically possible, but
Why are they there? Like, do they ever answer this question? What are they doing?
they're mining iridium
But from that
asteroid. Yeah,
That's it?
that's mainly it. And they're doing some scientific missions, I suppose.
So this
Well,
must be the
Kelly's looking
golden
for life.
dome that Trump's talking about, eh? Is this it?
No, it's
Great.
different dome.
Oh, okay.
Different dome.
What are you asking, Adam?
His head hurts.
I said Kelly's looking for life. That's what she's doing.
Yeah, but why are 5,000 people living here? Partly for the
Living
mining jobs. Yeah, mostly, I guess, I suppose.
And now you got commerce. You got services there now. So you know.
Yeah, you got Domino's, everyone. Like, come on. Anyway, Mars workers bringing families there, and this was the whole thing about stealing the asteroid. If they hadn't stolen the asteroid, then this probably none of this happened.
True, but like,
That's right. They probably do
the
shut
whole-
down Mars.
The whole plan of bringing that
Blockbuster is
Whoa, whoa,
opening
whoa.
on the moon.
Look at oil, 2603 a barrel. Wow.
Yeah, it was the
Is that
good old
good?
days.
What is it now?
Well,
120.
At 100 and something.
Oh no!
The good old days.
well,
back in 2008.
in this timeline, everyone drives electric cars and has like that kind
I'm
of stuff.
really
so-
happy
It
that
has
there's going to be a
Blockbuster.
blockbuster on the moon, because if I'm going to live anywhere, it's going to be on the moon. It ain't going to be on Mars.
So did Netflix not happen in this timeline? I'm trying to understand, but
well, no,
anyway.
because Netflix was offered to be bought by Blockbuster, and they said no.
I love how
In our
technology
timeline.
is so advanced they could build a colony on Mars.
So in this
but we're
case-
still using VHS tapes. And we're
Oh no, Blockbuster
No,
had
it's
DVDs. They also had
DVDs,
Blu-rays.
Jeff. It's
Yeah.
Blu-ray.
right. Sorry, yeah, it's
And they rent Bob
newest
Newhart.
Blu-ray.
Yeah, they read
I
Bob
never read
Newhart
Bob Newhart.
exclusively. Yes. Anyway, there are now machines, robots cleaning houses, and
Five is alive. All right.
Johnny Five. They're making meals, even in the home now. So the robotics industry is going strong.
I can't wait until the programming goes bad and they start running around with knives. That'll be amazing.
Well, they got
What could go wrong?
them.
There's your population control right there.
We find out more about these refugees on Mars. Lee's wife was one of many that I guess came over the years, and they're called craters because they lived inside of a crate on a cargo ship for like a month before they make it to Mars. So they're kind of this undocumented presence, I
What
suppose.
the hell would you want
Food
to
and water,
take
like-
refugee status on Mars?
How are they surviving that trip?
I guess they have enough water and food inside the crate with them.
Well, they got it down to a month, so realistically,
down to
bring
the
a
science.
cooler. Yeah.
Yeah, it would not be a pleasant month, I would imagine.
Imagine it'd be stinky.
Yeah. Bragg gets reelected to a second term in 2008, so he's still the president.
It's the Obama years.
This is the Obama. He's the Obama. This version of Obama, I suppose. They're expanding through today. A lot of scientific advancement
Looking for
because
new life, so that way they
Yeah.
can make better drugs.
Dev has got a ripped body now.
There
so
is
watch
no
out.
fucking way that's his real body. No way.
You think they put his head on another body?
Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe.
Look at the fucking neck.
His Mars workout routine. This is built on Mars. He got this physique. I don't think
lower
so.
gravity,
treated.
impossible.
Impossible. Yeah. Anyway, they're building a space elevator, by the way, so they can move the ore faster. We still have Breaking Bad debuting, so that's
Yes.
good.
Oh, thank
And
God. I got something to watch.
Yeah. It's one thing. We gotta watch something of that blockbuster.
they have Mars now has a governor. It's this guy, Leonid Polivanov.
Why in the fuck do they need a governor?
Well, they have
Yeah,
5,000 people.
We're gonna get it
Oh.
right. He means business.
I think he's like the Russian president anyway.
The guy on the right is the hitman. Yeah.
Yeah, Ted Kennedy died again.
no one cares.
So he had a brain tumor, and will JFK Jr. Be his successor? Maybe it will be RFK Jr.
Wait a second. JFK Jr. didn't die, and somehow Al Gore still won.
Yes,
Like
that's insane, right?
that's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
it. I quit the show.
right.
Yeah.
What else? The Pathfinder shuttle got sent into a
They drove it through the streets of LA.
apparently for like a
Well,
parade.
they do have to move it.
Yeah, they do. There's
They're going to put it in a
pictures of the
museum. They got to
Apollo.
move it.
It's
Anyway,
pretty- like when they moved the Apollo rocket to the Johnson Space Center, they was the same thing. They were moving it down streets of Houston. It looked really cool.
Really?
Yeah.
But even right now, aren't we sending a crew to orbit the moon? No one cares.
Yeah, on Wednesday.
Yeah, but no, no one cares. We're not
I
like
care.
I mean,
Talking
we,
about-
I
like, we
hear
know.
too.
Artemis 2.
We know,
Adam and
like,
Heather care.
There's
I
no
care too.
parade. There's no like people are going to the street and celebrate. I don't understand the writers of the show. They think people were going to continue to care about this stuff.
You don't think they would?
I don't think they would. I think history has proven that we don't really care. Like,
Oh my
you know
God,
what I
Jeff.
mean? Like,
Like when they were doing the NASA, like Johnson Space Center, you should have seen the streets that were lined with people.
well, like, but like we're sending people around the moon. No one cares. Like,
I don't understand why not. I canceled a meeting on Wednesday to watch the launch.
yeah, it is
There you
neat. I agree, it's neat.
I booked the boardroom TV.
I just think like the show makes it seem like it's a huge part of like the American culture.
I think it was in like the 60s and the 70s, and it went away. So I think there's a certain nostalgia
No. Even the 80s when the shuttles were going, it was a big deal.
Okay,
And
but
so
by the time like
I feel
Jeff and
that-
I are growing up, it's gone. Right?
I don't like
I feel the same way about that as I do about this show.
Yes.
Show me something new. Don't just
Right.
orbit around the moon. Do something new.
Yeah, I think that's it too.
I'd like to see some HD footage of the moon and Earth from the moon. I would like to see that. I'm waiting.
How about this though? Flash mobs are still a thing in 2012 in this timeline, so that's exciting. Apparently, the Vancouver Olympics in 2010 in this timeline was boycotted by the ISN nations. That I guess that's the counter group to the M6, the ISN. So Canada probably won even more medals at that Olympics than they did otherwise.
Yeah, but did anyone riot?
No riots.
It was in Vancouver, so possibly.
Yeah.
We probably lost the Olympics that year
Yeah,
because it's an alternate timeline.
Probably. There's more of this, like I guess Pakistan's part of the other alliance, so and they don't get along too well with India in any timeline, so that's starting to build up. What else? Mars taking away job from Earth.
Germs.
M6 rations. Yeah, M6. The M6 are kind of hated by the rest of the world now. And
So what's the M6? It's America, Russia, or Soviet Union,
Japan,
India. Who are the other two?
It's the United
China?
one, which has Canada in it, and then
There's
it's
China in it, and then I don't know what the other one is. The other one looks like
the European Space Agency.
European Space Agency. So Canada would be in that.
Like but later I was trying to find the screenshot because I saw it in the episode, but there was like a map in the episode and like they had the nations colored in, who were the M6 and who were the ISN nations, and Canada wasn't colored in either. So
we went neutral
like
finally.
we were neutral. So either they forgot that Canada's part of the ESA or we're not, I guess, anymore. Capitalism isn't working. Another world is possible. We got more of the American military complex. We got Bragg. Anyway, and all this going on here. And then we finally get into the episode. So that took a bit. We're here on Mars. Speak up for safety. We find out that there are peacekeepers now, kind of not quite security personnel, not quite police. I get the closest thing to police.
They're like MPs.
They're like MPs. They call it the MPK, the Mars Peacekeeper Corps, I guess. Alert and report. The Night Watch is here, everyone. You get a fancy beret when you sign up. So
That's handy.
It seems like it's gotten a little bit more militaristic here on Mars in the years
And
that have
bulletproof
passed.
vests.
Yeah, why do they need bulletproof
Interesting.
vests?
Yeah,
Who's
consider
space
there are no guns, really, right? Like,
Because
you
they
know
restrict
this is?
everything that comes in. That's how they found the refugees.
they somehow get people in here, though. I guess they can get a gun in.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
Danny got shot. So much for no guns.
Yeah.
True.
Do you recognize her?
No,
I do,
she's
but I don't know where.
So she was the wife of Brad Pitt in World War Z, and she was also Holden, whatever his name was. Oh my God, Ed's partner in The Killing.
You mean Joel Kinnaman?
It's her?
Joel Kinnaman. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, she looks so different with blonde hair.
Yeah. So I get the impression she's like a new main character. I don't know if anyone caught the name of this character, but
They followed her around quite a lot.
quite a bit. She seems to be like a detective, police officer of sorts. That she'll become involved in this murder mystery that kind of closes out the episode.
That's
I
exactly
think
what she
Boyd
played
is
in The
her
Killing.
last name.
Boyd, yeah, I think Boyd is the name.
Yeah,
Her last name, anyway.
Joel
the
Kinnaman
characters.
was like, you know what? I got the perfect person for this role.
Maybe, yeah. Anyway, her and her partner, they catch some delinquent, doing something down the
Darn
corridor,
delinquent.
and they say we're going to need to see your after curfew authorization card. But then the delinquent runs, the hooded delinquent, and they try to chase after them. They find out that they've spray painted "Free Mars" on the wall. They chase
When I
after
first saw that, I thought it said "Free Marg," and I'm like, "What?
Free
Marg?"
March from Evergreen Terrace. Anyway, so they lose the delinquent after a little bit of a chase, and then we see the delinquent going through some kind of a cornfield, emerging here, and we find out that it's not a man at all; it's a woman, a young girl, a young woman. This we'll find out is the daughter of Miles Dale, the younger daughter. Oh, I guess we did meet technically last season, but she is a little older now, living here on Mars, and she's spray painting things. She's part of the resistance, I guess. As we see, this dome she's in with the fields is one of many domes now here at Happy Valley.
Some would say it's a biodome.
It's a little bit of a biodome, and how big the settlement is here. So that is our teaser for the episode. Quite a bit going on there. Is the first light being the name? After the credits, we jump in here. Of course, the traditional wake up montage that we get at the beginning of every season. This time, who is it answering the alarm clock at 5:30 in the morning? It's Aleda. And I think this is like they always do a good job of picking good songs, I find, for these little montages. So this one's like girls, or something. Rule the world. So we get Aleda.
Beyonce, how dare you?
To
Not
Dave's
know
credit,
what it is.
it was
So
made past
I actually
1990.
forgot about this until you brought it up. I was like, okay, we're opening the season with the traditional feet on the floor, getting ready in the morning montage to Beyonce. This is going to be a great season.
Yeah, I would like it. Yeah, so Aleda's got a pretty nice house now. Meanwhile, Margot, her accommodation's less glamorous here in some kind of a federal prison, although she gets her feet in the slippers. We got Aleda in the bathroom, brushing her teeth and what else? And
He's
then
the
we
most
got
savage toothbrusher I've ever seen, by the way. Did you actually see that scene? She's like,
well, how about Margot? Margot doesn't have all of her original teeth anymore. Got some dentures now. She's putting them in.
She's also 1,000 years old, so
Yeah, she's about 5 minutes younger than Ed, I think.
yeah.
And so,
maybe.
anyway,
There's
so she's
definitely- they're trying to paint a parallel between those two characters big time. That they're
Mhm.
Ed and Margot.
No, Margot and Aleda.
Oh yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Margot and Aleda are like basically mirror images of each other.
Mhm.
Right. Margot still gets the newspaper here in jail. She's got some connections. She's keeping up on what's going on with the space program. These last few years. I wonder how many years she got. In this.
By the way,
doesn't
are
matter.
prison breakfasts this nice? Does anybody know? Because
Did we see the food?
It looks better than you would think.
fresh
Yeah.
strawberries.
Well, it's
And there was
probably good in the
oatmeal.
prison that they send the former NASA director to, right? Like this
Maybe.
isn't going to be full of murderers and
Yeah, but
This
it doesn't
is
look like a
buffet.
camp. Like she's not at
No.
a camp. She's at like at very least a minimum security. I don't think it's maximum security, but
No.
it's
Either way,
minimum.
I'm
It's white
concerned about.
collar prison.
I'm concerned
not
on that
federal
prison
county
gets
in the
better
ass
breakfast
prison.
than I do. That's what I'm concerned.
I
about.
still think
that's
she's
your
better
own fault,
off.
Jody, you don't live in prison.
Not yet.
That's true. Anyway, so we kind of see Margot kind of moving around the grounds here of the prison. I don't know. She has this look on her face like she's kind of content in some ways. I don't know.
because her life
Um,
hasn't changed that much from when she was sleeping in her office and doing math after that. Like
Or in
that's
the
the same
Kremlin,
thing here.
or in Space
Yeah.
City in
Okay.
Russia.
Can I
Yeah.
just say, like her face looks wrong. Like they're putting makeup on her to make her look old, and
Right.
like like just give her like white hair, like and like like I don't know, like it's too much.
Give her
Like-
a Nan hairstyle. This is like Kristen Bell in The Good Place hair.
Yes.
Okay, she does not need to have this hairstyle. She should have like Sophia Petrillo hair, and you wouldn't
I'm just
even
glad
really
she
need
has
to do
different
anything
hair, Heather.
with the makeup.
They just don't know what to do with her head. They always fuck her over on her hair.
They do. They really do. It's just like her, like there's clearly prosthetics on her cheeks, and it's like kind of obvious. You can tell. And it's just like,
Jane was really turned off by Joel Kinnaman's makeup. She felt like his mouth is glued too much or something.
You can see the line of his bald
Yeah.
cap. I clocked it too.
Yeah.
It's
So they're trying with both these to age that. Like if you look at Ed in season 4 and then you look at him now, and same thing with Margot here. I think it's such a jump. But anyway, I guess
I
that's
think
how it goes.
somehow she both looks young and old, and it's disconcerting.
Yeah.
It is. It's not. It doesn't look natural.
She just looks confused.
She's got those young eyes. I think that's part of what it is. But anyway.
Like I believe Ed's old guy more than her. Like her, it's like she looked better last season. Like I believed it more last season. This season, I'm like, what did they do? Why? Who made this decision?
She's got to be around 82.
She probably just under that, because she was like she was pretty young when like season 1 started, right? Like she was younger than Ed, I thought. So
Maybe. Yeah.
anyway, we see this promo from Helios showing like this idea for the next city that they want to build on Mars, or at least Dev wants to build. That's going to be like trees and garden and houses.
Star Trek Beyond.
Yorktown.
Yorktown.
Yeah. Called Maru is the idea that what they want to build here. Dev's selling this idea here on the news, but meanwhile,
Looks like a different body than the one on the fucking.
However, the neck does check out.
The neck checks.
That neck is huge.
they're like, okay, Eddie, you're gonna have to work out really hard for this season. Go.
No, they're like, we'll just pad you.
Anyway, so then Aleda shows up. She's now the CEO. She's kicking ass as she comes through the hallways and say, what the hell is Dev doing selling this city idea when he doesn't have the funding and all these kinds of things? And so she's coming through. We see the door. Aleda Rosales, Chief Executive Officer. So come a long way. She's got her own office. Then we get the wake up here with Miles and his wife. I was disappointed the wife was back because I don't know. I just didn't find that relationship really made a lot of sense last season. But
it seemed like he was going to get with the girl that went to prison.
Yeah, I thought so too. It seemed like he was
in prison now, so he's like, oh well, I guess I can't cheat on my wife. I might as well get back together with her.
That's apparently what happens.
I'm
brings
gonna
both.
cheat on my girlfriend with my wife.
Yeah. We also see that Miles tries to find his youngest daughter that morning, but she's already gone out. She's out spray painting walls or something.
Now,
So
did the rest of you, as soon as they started talking about their daughters, were you all like, I bet the daughter is the vandal? Because I certainly was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only so many kids up there, so
Apple doesn't fall far
from the tree. So, with the daughter gone, Miles wants to get it on. He, he's let's get all naked and such here with the wife.
How else are you gonna do on Mars?
Yeah,
it's 1/3 the gravity.
Hey, I got a chance.
Anyway, so then we kind of pan out from that and we kind of move across the habitat. We're going to finally catch up with old Admiral Baldwin here as he's putting on his finest for Alex's graduation today.
That bald cap is very noticeable.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got it on his best. I love this guy goes, looking good, Admiral. And he's like, damn right. I look good.
I'm supposed to be in prison.
I'm supposed to be in prison. He's got this ankle monitor we see here. I guess this is like the command center now for the base. And Ed looks inside. He's looking through the window, if you will.
I should have smoked more pot.
Yeah. Now I'm not sure if somebody convicted of a crime and given 10 years would be allowed to wear their admiral's uniform anymore or not. I'm not sure.
There are no rules on Mars.
It's Mars.
Well,
You can wear your uniform. You're just marked retired.
okay. Anyway, so he puts the ankle bracelet through the threshold here and sets off all these alarms and just messes with them. He's got a little
I thought that was cute,
like
his little
This version of Ed is all anyway, then we see here that Miles has become a bit of a folk hero among the Martian colony from his earlier days. I don't get that. But
It's more like the Dawn.
yeah.
He's a union man.
Like I would have been more. I thought what they were gonna do with Miles is like that he was gonna become like the mafia boss, or become like at least the Quark of this. But they're
There's
going
still time. You never know.
They're going a very different direction with him. It seems
They're kind of making him like the Odo. Like they're kind of making.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what he's going to become. He's going to be kind of.
I'm
like,
trying to make this DS9.
no. Palmer's the Odo now.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is not nearly as good as DS9. Right?
Ilya's Quark. I feel like.
Ilya is more of the Quark. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I guess Miles. I don't know who he's meant to be. But anyway, or just
Maybe he's the
himself.
Garrick.
Let's catch up here with the Lees because they now run like a little stand here, I guess a little souvenir stand on the promenade of Mars. They would see that they're Lee and his wife are having an argument, but that stops once.
Can I make a prediction?
Mm-hmm.
One or both of them are dead by the end of this season.
Yeah. Well, like you know how like so at the end of this episode, Lee's gonna get arrested for the murder, but I somehow I feel like it's not him; it's maybe the wife or something like that.
I feel like I feel like the wife's dead, or because they're too nice, they're too happy. This is not a place for happiness. This show, this show
where
is
happiness goes to die.
Or watching
Yeah,
it.
and they have such a good spirits and good humanity. They are dead. They're toast. Like. That's just my prediction.
Kiss of death, says
Yeah.
Jeff Major. All right. Anyway, they're coming through. We'll see it at the meetings and stuff. They're selling these T-shirts, I guess, with Lee's face on it. First Man on Mars, right?
I want one of those, but with Adam on it.
And it would say "sexy fun facts" with Adam on the bottom.
It would.
All right,
Ilya's.
You need a shirt, guys. I would wear that too.
We get to Ilya and Miles's restaurant. It's called Ilya's Bar and Restaurant, and they're getting fined because they put up this little metal barrier on their next to their tables, and apparently that's against the rules. So they're getting a citation from the peacekeeper guys. Have a nice sol, they say. To which Miles and the wife say, "That's what we told you would happen." They're getting ready for the graduation. Ilya's made caviar.
Yeah.
He's prepared stuff. So we see this bar founded in 2008 by Ilya and Miles, who despite all their past differences, there was that time Ilya sent his Russian goon to beat up Miles. There was that time that Miles took over the entire black market from Ilya. They've patched it all up.
It was just business, Dave. Just business.
When was all right? Last season, what year was it?
2003.
So 5 years later,
Yeah.
his wife is there at least.
Yes. And his two kids presumably too, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's what they've been up to. This is 4 years after that. The restaurant's been going for about 4 years now. And we see this promenade set that I think we're going to get see a lot of this season. I think that it's very similar to Deep Space Nine, in a lot of ways. We check in at a Korolev crater, where apparently Kelly's been looking for life for about 9 years or so, just taking samples out of the ice, and everything comes back.
She's
negative.
like those Billy goats that climb the cliffs and they lick the salt. That's
Yeah, they call it. You better get to your son's graduation if because it's about to start, which is held by this the governor, the Russian governor, Leonid, whatever. Anyway, blah blah blah. Kelly shows up a little bit late, and Ed's like, "You didn't miss much. Just this stupid governor guy, saying stuff.
I hate this guy.
Hate this guy." Anyway, and he does his little speech here. The kids. Anyway, shut up, Dad. Get the bell out. Okay, the kids. The next generation, if you will. So we got Alex is here, and we also have Miles's daughter and a couple other ones. There's this one guy who's he seems to be Alex's best friend. He's going off to become a member of the Marine Corps. And then there's this Russian girl who's, I guess, the daughter of some miners. M-I-N-E-R, I mean. Anyway, so her and yeah, this is like the Marine dude who makes dick jokes all the time, as you do. And this is like the
good dick joke.
Anyway, yeah. The Russian girl who's doesn't like to smile, I guess. She smiled a little bit there.
Yeah, she's not enjoying that smile though.
No, it's very forced. And then later on, her mother would be like, "Why can't you just smile more?" And then we meet the new Alex, the older actor now playing him.
I like to call him K-pop Alex.
He's K-pop Alex. Yes.
He's too big to climb through ducts on criminal missions for his poppy anymore.
Yeah,
it's true. He's much too big for that.
I still don't care about this kid at all.
No, me neither.
They're gonna try really hard to make you like him, I think.
Like later on the motorcycle, I'm like, wipe it.
Actually, when he was riding that motorcycle, I was waiting for like a 60s Buick to come across and just hit him. Ed Baldwin loses another one.
Or one of those things that they fly around on Mars, just like wax them in midair.
Yeah. They try to get Alex, like one guy, the father of his friend says, like, why don't you sign up to work on the asteroid, like that or whatever, but he doesn't seem into that.
I'm weighing my options.
We know that Miles's daughter is planning to go off to journalism school. Adam says why? Pointless, but that's what she's planning to do.
Is this going to be the love interest? Is Miles's daughter and Kelly's son? Is that going to? Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do.
Oh yeah, they say this in the episode. They're like, "When are you gonna bang Miles's daughter?" She has a name, but I can't remember. And get on with it. We got a conversation here with Ed and I know Ed's trying to teach Alex how to be a man. This won't go well.
Teach you how to ride a bike.
That's what you do is when you get really angry, you go mow the lawn at 2 a.m. That's what.
And if that doesn't work, you slam the phone.
Like if you think about it, this is what Ed was doing with his son, trying to teach him how to be a man, and then he fucking got hit on a bike.
This is true. He's old dog, new tricks, sort of thing. Anyway, but the
Buick would really spice some things up here.
How about this? The teenage drinking has not gone away in this timeline. It's still popular.
What?
I know. This is science fiction, I think. Obviously. If there ever was some. They got a big bottle of booze and they are boozing it up. It's Ilya's own brand.
It's house wine.
Yeah, it's house wine that he stole. Here, they even got some weed, guys. They got the booze, they got the joints. They're going around here. I guess these 4 are the only kids on the whole base, and like they kind of grown up together for a number of years, so they're all kind of tight. Most of them are going off to school. Yeah, but Alex can't go. Anyway. And then back at Helios. This is the whole conversation with Aleda and this Poindexter guy who comes to tell her bad news. That Dev wants to do this and that, and they need money to go to. They talk about going to Europa and looking and Titan and like these moons of Jupiter. Next is the next place to look for life, and they're like, well, we don't have enough money and we can't spend all this money, right? So why don't we pull some money from that stupid Mars program where you got Kelly Baldwin looking for life for well over a decade, and she's like, no, she's my friend, and they're like, oh, I guess I do need the money for these other missions. So we'll see. There could be some conflict coming with Aleda and Kelly. Then we have Alex on his VR set, wishing he was on a beach somewhere.
This VR is amazing for 2013.
Well, they got Apple,
whatever it is,
whatever. But we all know that the technology is a little further ahead here.
Jody, they have a colony on Mars.
Yeah.
And those are just clearly like Apple. What are the Apple VR headphones or whatever they are?
I
But
have no idea. They're far out of my price range.
yeah, he's got a couple. Anyway, but then when his mom comes in, he has to hide them really quickly. He doesn't want her to see him looking through those. And
It's hers.
I also hid when I was looking at beaches from my mom.
Well, that's how it goes. That's normal
But it's
kid
her.
things.
It's her unit. She's looking for it.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's like, I haven't seen it. Sorry, Mom. His hand is what's wrong with his hand? I don't know.
Mars.
Mars.
Well, that's
he's got
where the special power is going to come out of.
Yes, the special Mars.
What's wrong with his hand? There's only one girl that is in his age range.
Two girls.
Getting a lot of work. Oh, my hand's getting a lot of work.
Anyway, yeah, he can't leave. He wouldn't want to leave if he could, he says, but maybe that's not true. Anyway, he gets a little card for his graduation, and it's from our friend Dev. I guess the motorcycle was the present, right? It was what he got from Dev. Good to have a billionaire friend for your graduation here. Then this is at the graduation. Oh no, So this is like the activist group here on Mars, I guess, that Ed and Miles and Lee and a few others are members of. It's called the Sons and Daughters of Mars, a community meeting at 10 a.m. Where they kind of complain about everything that they don't like what's going on.
It's supposed to be like an underground kind of group, isn't it?
No, I don't think this is underground. I think this is meant to be more of a public-facing activist group that is advocating for more rights of the citizens of Mars.
If it's underground, they're doing a really poor job of being secretive about it.
Well, that's what I was like. Why are you posting posters?
Because they're like, well, what are we going to do? Spray paint some walls? And he's like, good thing. At least those people got guts. And they're but not us. We like to follow the rules. Anyway.
He's got his grandpa outfit on here.
He sure does. To be fair, he's been wearing that grandpa outfit since like season 2. But he's really returned to it here. And Miles is now like the community leader or something. Anyway, but it gets all broken up by his wife, who says we get ready for the lunch rush. Also, just one thing here: Lee is drinking like some booze at 10 a.m. out of this glass, and instead of having ice in the glass, they have like those stones like that you see sometimes, like the cold stones. Yeah, I guess ice and water would be at a premium, right? So, there's this conversation here with Ed and Lee as they're having some, booze here in the morning. I guess it's probably close to lunch, actually.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5.
Yeah, and you're on Mars. It's souls. Who cares what time it is? I would drink too if I was on Mars.
All right, drink it up. Drink it. You got it. And this conversation is about Lee talking to Ed about his wife. They're fighting about some guy they brought to Mars from Pyeongchang, and I don't know. Anyway, so he's fighting more with his wife. They never used to fight back in Korea. But Ed's like, I've been married 3 times, and the one thing I've learned is I don't know shit about women. So, yeah. And that gets a laugh out of Lee. Anyway, then, oh yeah, this is where Ed is like, oh, I wish I could bring Alex to these meetings, but he's not coming. And Miles' daughter wishes she could be actually part of the meeting, not just serve drinks, which is apparently what she does. As Ed calls Alex a shithead, as Alex is testing out his new gift, his little motorcycle, and having some fun with it. And like, this is probably like the most excitement I got in the episode was watching this.
Yep.
And it was over pretty quick. The song was fun. I was digging it. They were going, and then he goes.
It wasn't sabotage.
Yeah,
that would have sucked.
No, that was awesome.
Yeah, I
that's
guess
from Kevin's
What
favorite
song
movie.
was it? Song 2. It was Blur, right?
No,
I didn't recognize it, but I liked it.
What was it? I don't remember.
Yeah. Alex crashes anyway very early. Luckily, no punctures in his suit, but this leads to him discovering this what we'll find out is a dead body here in the middle of the Martian desert. Somebody like they've had better days, but they have nice teeth, I gotta say. The rest of it's looking rough. Anyway, so they call out the one from the killing, and she comes out to investigate this. I guess the police, the M6 peacekeeping police, and her partner here got like, or I guess, whoever this guy is, like the supervisor. He doesn't think this is a murder, but she's questioning it right away. They think it's a suicide, like somebody who's just run out into see how far they can get without a suit on. You would not make it very far. Not this far is kind of like the conclusion that she has.
He's like 400 feet away or something.
He's too far away, like from the rover, to have gotten
they
this
said
far.
It was like if they could get past 50, that would be impressive or something. Like
yeah, and like even though the gravity is like 1/3, it's to get that far away is impractical. And she has to tell this guy, I know how gravity works, asshole.
I'm a detective, okay? I've done this.
Yeah, I like that. I'm familiar with gravity.
I'm familiar with the concept of gravity. Anyway, and so she's still kind of unsettled, but like her supervisor guy, he thinks it's nothing to worry about. Palmer, we'll find out, is like now the sheriff or whatever he is, the head of the peacekeeper corps.
Superintendent kind of deal.
Yeah, like superintendent.
Yeah, he's kind of like he's the head cop, it would seem, and she's like, I think this was not an accident. I think he might have been dragged out there. And so they check his eardrums to figure out his ears did not pop when he was alive. He was moved out to that Martian desert after he was dead. Oh yeah, and the Russian doctor, he's still here. Do we like his old age makeup?
He looks fine.
Yeah.
Big
Well, he
Elmo
looks
Turtle.
natural.
I just keep getting like Resident Evil vibes every time I see that girl on screen with the beret.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway.
waiting for a Jill sandwich.
This would be the first murder on Mars, so this is a big deal.
That's not true.
There's been many.
Well, Danny was murdered. You could say
Danny,
so.
And Danny murdered some people too.
Yeah.
Well, at least manslaughter. He was least guilty of manslaughter. Yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of murder.
That was
Totally murder.
it was second degree every day of the week.
Yeah. It was not. He was criminally negligent for sure. Anyway, breaking news, because Palmer's like, let's just keep this conversation in this room. No one tell about the murder, and then immediately all over Earth, it's all over the news about the murder. And so we see here like Miles's daughter. I hate when they give us new characters. Like I learn their fucking names, but anyway. And she's seen here in the news office that they're texting things. Governor Paula Navav urges calm during investigation, which everyone gets on their little iPhones, I guess. It's pretty much like the iPhone of that time, isn't it?
It's better.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's pretty much the same thing. It's just a little bit wider.
Yeah.
And it has
Anyway.
USB-C, so obviously Apple didn't design it.
It would have been kind of cool if they would have kept BlackBerry going in this timeline.
Right.
I don't think cool is the word we're looking for, but all
I
right.
love BlackBerry.
I liked it before it sucked, yeah.
Yeah.
But
It always sucked. It just everyone figured it out
Anyway.
later.
Aleda's watching this news on TV when suddenly her daughter comes home in the 2 a.m. and she's not too happy with her daughter. And her daughter, who's much older now, she's telling her mom she's not taking
Broke up with her girlfriend.
She broke up with her girlfriend, which Aleda is has to double take on. But I don't know.
But I think that's supposed to signify how out of touch she is with her kids.
Yeah. Well, yeah, her daughter says, like, you're never here anyway. You're always working. You're a workaholic. Da, 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 da. So, any reaction to this scene?
And then her
I
daughter
hope-
comes out to her
Yeah.
by saying, Ashley dumped me. And Aleda's like, whoa.
Yeah. This is the reaction right here.
I just hope this isn't another like subplot because I hope this is it. I don't need to know anything about her daughter at all.
No, I don't even.
I'm getting-
we got
I'm
flashbacks
getting,
to young Aleda.
Gordo's other son vibes. Like we're gonna get this whole side plot with her daughter of the friend she's meeting. and we're gonna get nobody's gonna want it.
I think this is just the throwaway part. I don't think.
Let's all hope so. Okay, let's move on here and go. Okay, and then the next scene was Ed and Kelly, who's on like the laptop talking to Alex about his traumatic experience of seeing a dead body.
So don't care
Yeah.
at
It's
all.
not okay. You must be traumatized from the dead body. And Ed's like, oh, I saw some bodies.
No, I'm just traumatized by my
Let me tell ya.
grandfather.
Let me tell you,
in Korea.
in Korea, even though I was a fighter pilot and I didn't fight in trenches, but whatever.
You know what'll make your seeing a dead body better? Hearing about all the dead bodies I've seen.
Back in the
It's
80s,
fine.
we were just
Yeah.
told to
Fuck
suck it up
off.
and get on with your life.
Rub
Yeah,
some dirt on it, why?
Alex would rather have lived in that time. It seems he's like, I would rather just be told to suck it up and move on. But anyway, so little conversation here. Kelly's not feeling great about her being a mom or her work here, looking for life. It's been kind of a failure, and Ed tries to cheer her up and says, "Don't say that, Kelly. It'll be all right. The boy will come around." Anyway, and then Ed is getting checked out here by the doctor. He's not in the best health. I don't know. They seem to even give him some back makeup to make him look old from the back.
You don't know. That could be Joel Kidman's.
Could
They
be.
gave
Could
him
be.
man boobs though.
back.
They did. I don't know if I get a picture of the boobs, but he's got them. You're right. So he's not. He doesn't got that that Dev body. That's for sure.
Neither does
Anyway.
Dev.
But Ed's talking about taking Alex on some kind of a flight or something somewhere
To the crater, some crater.
to the
Well,
crater,
to the
right?
crater,
And
yeah.
it's like it's just one little skip and a jump, and he's like, "No, you will die. You could die if you try to fly anywhere right now in your condition." And we find out that Ed has stage 3 cancer, better than stage 4, I guess. And that he has to take it seriously, says the doctor. But Ed's a little. No one's gonna tell
This
Ed
has
what to
been
do.
thrown in just so they can cancel his contract at the end of the season. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, I think I heard he's only in a few of the episodes this season, so
Yeah.
we're gonna see.
Yeah,
what
I'm
happens
pretty
here.
sure he's gonna die midway or something.
Anyway, then after
They
that,
can't have him for season 6. If there's another time jump, there's no way.
there's no way. Yeah.
Why?
No,
He would just be
he's gonna
90.
have to die this season.
But 90 on Mars,
It's
Well,
fine.
no,
No,
you
listen,
see-
Mars 90 is like Earth 85.
Yeah,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
lose years when you're on Mars.
You also
actually.
lose muscle
Science.
mass and bone density. And so, anyway,
And
he has-
radiation poisoning.
Free cancer, but on Mars, there's 27 stages. So he's actually at the very beginning.
Yes.
Okay.
You
Next
got it,
season, he's
Ted.
going to be 105, and he's going to just be riding it.
all right. But before all that, he finds Alex's VR headset and he's looking through and finds out Alex.
Waves.
He's like, Alex is looking at waves and and Earth and all
Don't
this.
they have screensavers in this universe?
Well, anyway, Ed,
It's sad because he can't go to Earth, Jody. It's sad.
I'm
He
not.
That's
doesn't
sad.
want to go to
feeling.
Earth.
If he goes to
Oscar
Earth, people are
wants to
gonna
go.
beat his ass. He's got to
Yeah.
stay here anyway.
Ed is just sitting there thinking, this kid is betraying me. He wants to leave.
No, actually, I think what he's saying is, why isn't this kid watching porn on this thing?
Yeah. He's watching
Well,
water. Oh,
Alex's friend would concur because all he wants to know about is the dead guy's dick in the elevator ride here.
That was so weird. Like, who wrote this?
yeah,
Right.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really weird conversation.
It was
I
not
agree.
a woman, a man.
It was the
wrote
best
that,
conversation in
100%.
the whole season, man. Come on.
I can tell you, it was the showrunners and
Yeah.
co-creators Matt Wolpert and Ben Nadivi. So
They're like,
They
what
don't-
have you talked about his dick? Yeah, that's
that's what we talked about, right? When we were that age. Yeah.
Like, I
So-
guess the point is they're supposed to tell us that this guy who's going in the Marines or whatever, he's a vapid piece of shit. Is basically
Yeah, oh, yeah.
what they're trying
Don't
to
feel
tell
sorry
us,
when
but-
he dies, I guess.
Yeah, this kid is not
definitely
making
gonna
it past
die.
the 3rd episode. Like we
No.
already
Yeah.
know this. So
So we'll be able to enjoy it. I guess he's yelling. Even these two talking about it, and they refer to it as a penis. Like that's not what two guys would say to each other. Like
Yeah.
2012, no way.
no way. Oh, your penis. Oh, good. Anyway, then he tells him he's got to hook up with Miles's daughter before he goes back to grab her butt or something. And
Why is he grabbing his ass there?
because he's showing him the
In front of
move
his parents, no less.
in front of his parents. Yes. Well, he's comfortable with these things.
Because you know, heterosexual young men are super comfortable with such displays.
Maybe they're not so heterosexual.
I grab Dave's ass all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
It's true. It's true. Anyway, so Alex says goodbye to his friend, and anyway, then we get the prison visit here with Aleda and Margot. This seemed like it was a real prison they filmed in.
Oh yeah,
For
for sure.
You know,
Well, I don't think they're going to build that.
yeah. And Aleda, you know, she's kind of gotten over all her stuff here with Margot.
this is where I find Aleda looks really good.
Yeah, she looks good here. She
Yeah,
brings
that like hot cougar vibe going on.
yeah, and Margot's working for free for Aleda with all kinds of calculations and stuff like that. So a good resource for Aleda. And she's like, guess what I got for you? Not money, Tootsie Rolls.
I'm paying you in Tootsie Rolls.
Paying you in Tootsie Rolls. Not even that big of a bag, I would argue. But Margot says, yes, give me the Tootsie Rolls. I'll trade them for
crack.
I'll trade them for what newspapers, I guess. Or
Do you
whatever
know who Aleda looks like? She looks like the grandma in Encanto.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Isn't she animated?
Grandma, she's like 40 years old, man.
no, she's not. She's like 50 something in this.
In real life, she's younger than.
Oh
us,
yeah, I
think.
know, but her character, like her character,
Yeah, her
like,
character would be probably like late 40s at this point.
No,
No, because she was like a kid in 1969, right? So
Oh, that's
like,
true. Yeah,
yeah. So this is 2012. So
she's
yeah.
like
She's a kid in
55.
in the 70s. that
Her
she's-
character's got to be like 55.
yeah, something like that.
That'd be my guess.
Well, I was born in 77, and I'm 49. So
And this is 14 years ago for us. So
Yeah.
one way.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next scene is back on
69,
Mars. This is where Miles's daughter wants to join the little Sons and Daughters of Mars activist group, and Miles, her dad, says, "No, you're not allowed."
I was like, who's going to serve drinks?
And Alex is allowed to join, but Miles doesn't care. But little does he know that his daughter spray paints walls at night. So apple don't fall far.
Well, I don't think that's that big of a deal compared to what he was doing.
Or yeah. Meanwhile, speaking of which, Ilya is trying to bribe the peacekeeper woman here. It's just a little bribe. What's so bad, you know? But not frowned upon. Which she mostly finds charming and doesn't worry too much about him here. But then she gets the call.
Aleda is 43, guys, in the show.
At this
Okay.
time,
Really?
Yeah,
She's only-
Oh, dear.
43.
I'm 40. I'm 43 right now.
How old was she in 1969?
She was born in
When-
1969.
No, she wasn't. She was already a kid.
Born.
Remember, like,
She
because
was
remember
in
in
the
the
first season, she went
she-
to see the launch of the rocket.
she was old enough to walk across the border.
Well, all I'm telling you, well, maybe, but it says here in the what I'm reading, she was born in 1969. But I'll check again. I'll get another
No,
day.
she's definitely not born in 1969. That's wrong.
Yeah, she was.
How
she was-
dare you? How dare you question?
She was at least 7 years old by in that time.
Yeah,
so she's born.
like,
she's
she's
probably
a
born
little-
in like 61.
keeper of the facts.
Yeah. She's
Anyway.
probably
Okay,
50.
Aleda Rosales is the daughter of Octavio and Graciana. She was born and raised in somewhere in Mexico in 1969. Wait a
That
second.
makes
after her
no
parents.
sense.
That makes
The
no
first season
Is in
launch
1969.
is 1969. She's in the first episode.
You're right. You're right.
I remember
She's a little
because
girl
Jeff
then.
hated it.
Yeah. I
Yes.
was like, why is she in this season?
sense. Who is this character? Why am I being introduced to her all
Why
this
does
much?
she matter?
Okay, sorry. Pardon me. Date of birth 1961. She's age 51.
Yeah,
So-
she's 51. Okay.
51
That's-
this time.
That's closer.
She's almost my age.
Born the same year as our mother, Jeff. So.
Yes.
She's older than me.
What's her birthday? Did they give her the birthday?
No.
All right. She's probably an Aries. All right.
Probably. You're probably right. Maybe it's Pisces.
Hey, hold on. I got a ticker for that. Astrological. Chat with Dave.
All right. Speaking of which, funny enough, I ran into somebody I hadn't seen in years the other day at the park, and she's like, "All those years ago, you said, oh, you're a Taurus,' and I'm so sorry for my Taurus tendencies. If I was ever too much of a bull, I'm like, it's all good. I'm friends with so many Taurus. It's all good."
It's not my favorite.
Oh my
You know?
god.
And you were like, girl, your Taurusness has kept me up nights ever since we met.
I was like, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so they're going to go. Oh, yeah. This is the end of the episode, everyone. Palmer says, we have the DNA of the person we think murdered that guy who left him out in the Martian desert. We have to go find him. Let's go. And she's like, who are we going at? And there's a knock on the door, and the reveal is it's Lee.
Could that be any more boring reveal?
Yeah.
Yeah. And on top of that,
Although-
this was the final scene. Like there was no follow up. There was nothing else.
All through
this is the cliffhanger.
all through this episode, Palmer is giving me Deke vibes. He sounds like
Yeah.
Deke,
Oh yeah.
and he kind of looks like him.
No,
And he sounds like him. Yeah.
I called that 2 seasons ago. I'm like, he's
Did you?
discount Deke.
He's discount Deke. Yeah. We'll find out he's Deke's love child eventually.
Right.
Before we get
Yeah.
to fun facts, I would like to say, because we didn't discuss it, they said that the guy who ran out but later determined was murdered, they say he pulled a Gordo. Can we just say that it's absolute bullshit that's called pulling a Gordo? You know who else was running around in duct tape on the surface of the moon? Tracy Stevens.
Heather, nobody cares about Tracy.
Yeah,
I care about Tracy.
I didn't give a shit about Tracy.
Tracy
so-
didn't need to die. That was, that was.
She didn't need to die.
She wasn't letting Gordo do it by himself.
Right. He could
You
have.
know.
I think.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, so Lee is under arrest and dun dun dun. But like, considering that the victim was also Korean, like it's kind of like, I'm not saying he's the only suspect, but he would be a suspect, I think, and because he would have
There were other
Potentially
Korean
relationship.
people up there.
there are others, I'm not saying he's the only suspect, but considering the DNA is under his finger, or
Well,
like,
they determined that he had to have been killed because I guess his eardrums weren't.
Eardrums
Right.
were intact.
but there's no way it is Lee who's the murderer, right? It's somebody else.
I would assume.
Yeah.
No, it's
Who
Lee's
knows?
wife.
Is it the wife?
I don't know.
And then they'll try her, and then he'll go through not having his wife again.
They'll send her back to Korea, and they'll have to smuggle her back to Mars again. Yeah.
Do we have some sexy fun facts, Adam?
No.
I'll tell you, I will say a couple of things. So it is a reunion between, her name's Muriel Enos and Joel Kinnaman, where they started in the killing together. Did anybody watch that show? Because it was great.
Yes.
No.
Yes, it's a great show.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah, it was totally excellent, and I recommend it.
Especially
Um,
don't watch the first 2 seasons. Don't stop after that. You're just torturing yourself after.
This
No,
show or that one?
No,
this-
no, the killing. Watch the first 2
Both.
seasons.
I will read one comment that I found here where somebody rated it a good old 2 out of 10. They write, it's bad. Firstly, the friendship between US and Russia is dividing up Mars feels completely detached from reality. Russians are useless at modern technology unless they steal it from someone else so they can. The whole friendship angle is not believable even within a TV series. This only if it creates making Americans look like cuckolds. Great.
This is a great review.
Yeah. Secondly, the age of the character is done very poorly and makes me cringe. And thirdly, the story feels more like a soap opera than a sci-fi series.
Well, I think that might be.
Did you write that comment, Adam?
No, I didn't. But let me tell you something about my feelings about this show. And this is my fun facts. We have probably one of the greatest writers ever, in puts his name on this show, right?
Ronald D. Moore, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as this goes on, like I can't even believe his name. I see his name every week and I go, what happened? Because some of the greatest Star Trek ever written, Battlestar Galactica, and then this. And
I don't so far, like I'm looking at this season, I don't see Ronald D. Moore's name on one script this season. So like
he's not on the script, but
it's not his
he's
show
still a
anymore.
producer, right? But anyway.
I don't think he is like running the show.
No,
No,
the
I
first
know.
season was his show, and then he
I
handed
think
it off to these two dudes, and then they turned it into what we're watching.
I think this show is suffering from the fact that it went ahead and killed all of its dynamic characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said
And
that to Jane
everybody's
today.
bored.
I was like, I miss Tracy, I miss Karen, I miss
Yeah.
Gordo, I miss a lot of these like earlier characters that have gone, like Molly,
Yeah.
even
Also, they
Deke.
didn't-
They didn't need to stick to we need to jump 10 years every season. They didn't need to do that. Like, they could have told like a whole story throughout the 80s that would have been really cool and compelling,
Yeah.
But they stuck to this formula where they had to jump ahead 10 years. And I think that's kind of like after season 2 or like during season 2, that's kind of where the show lost its way.
But it doesn't need to be on the moon or Mars. Like it doesn't, like there's nothing really happening up there. It's just far away.
Yeah.
You know?
There's some ice. There's
Yeah.
some ice for Kelly to test, and
And some low gravity.
there's low gravity. You can make some jewelry.
But you remember the great episodes where we were like, there was spacewalks and ships docking with each other and crashes and like all.
I
of
miss
those
that
great-
stuff.
Yeah.
Like one of the best movies is Interstellar, and one of the greatest sequences is the ship docking with a spinning space station. Like there's so many things they could have done, in space, like they were doing in the first 2 seasons, and then they were just like, no, let's do a show about a union bust, or like what are they doing? Like,
Let's talk about social inequality.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
but
that.
see, and we keep seeing here is like people commenting about they really like the montage at the beginning of these seasons because and that's pretty much the entertaining part because you can see
Who
this alternate
doesn't like
reality.
a montage?
Mhm.
Well, I think they each time they do it well. Like I'm like, okay, this happened, but then the story slows down, and then we're like, we're lingering on some of these characters that to varying degrees we like and dislike, right? And so I think I was saying like I'm missing like the dynamic of the cast in the first season or the first 2 seasons maybe. I think Gordo and Tracy in particular going away was a big blow, and I know we don't.
Karen.
And
Also,
Karen.
The dynamic between the United States and the Soviet Union was kind of the interesting premise of the whole show. Like what would have been different between those two superpowers, and like that all goes away once they go to season 3. Like it's like that doesn't matter really anymore.
This show is like driving in traffic. You know how you get those like spots where it's like, I can do 120 now, and then all of a sudden you hit the roadblock, right? That's what this show is. Like they start me off, they give me something I'm excited with, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh.
And do you remember when premieres and season finales meant something?
Yes. Well, I think that's more of a streaming issue though. So I think with the ways of everything being made for streaming now, I think.
But when you have to wait 2 years to see, like it just doesn't feel.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, what happened? It's like in 9 years or 2 years, the base got bigger. People grew up, and that's about it. Like,
I still think
even
it's
like
very
a-
hard as a storyteller to tell the story you want to tell in 10 episodes. This is a problem that modern Trek has. This show has it. And to get to kind of Jeff's point where it's like, why wouldn't you just spend a little bit more time in those decades? Like it's, do 2 years in 1 decade. Like, you can, there's so many interesting stories, especially the Cold War stuff. Like that would have been great to see.
Oh yeah, they should have really dug into that. They should have done 2 or 3 seasons in the 80s because that would have been fantastic. Like even like the episode where they blew up the plane with Thomas Paine in, like with and then like you're diving deep into all the history of that.
Or that
and
blockade
happened.
the blockade going on in South America and all that stuff that was happening. Like, that would have
That's
been really
fascinating.
cool to see. Yeah.
yeah, like even like this, they're like, oh, they boycotted the Olympics, right? I was like, why? What happened? What was like so big? Like.
And can we get like even 1 minute of footage from the John Lennon and Jay-Z performance of the
Yeah, can we not? I want the Gray album now. Come
Yeah.
on. Like,
I
what are we
need
waiting for?
some Imagine intersplice with 99 Problems. Or like,
Ooh.
I'm gonna need that in my life, you know.
Sick mashup.
Yeah, I wonder if when they got the rights to the Beyonce song, they're like, "Can we put Jay-Z and John Lennon on this newspaper thing?" And they're like, "Sure." So, they got the permissions all together. Okay, well, if we're
It didn't do anything for me, but all right.
let's. Are we ready for ratings, everyone? I can't wait. Can't wait. to
Listen,
see
Heather,
scores.
I saw that eye roll.
I did it for you, Jody.
And I felt
it was
it.
directed at you.
Yeah, obviously.
Who would like to start us off? Jody, you're on the first on the list.
Why do I
Where did
gotta
you go last?
start?
Nice.
I'm gonna give this probably 3.
A 3. Okay.
Oh, it's terrible. This is so boring. When the most interesting scene in this entire episode was a kid falling off of a motorbike and seeing a dead body. That right there tells you exactly where we're at with this episode.
And he didn't even poke it with a stick or anything.
No, not even one stick poke. He didn't call a friend over to have a look either. Hey, you want to see a dead body? You know, like that kind of thing. No.
Yes.
No
if you're gonna
bridges,
have kids seeing a dead body, there should be 4 of them, and it should be set in Maine.
nothing.
True.
Obviously.
That's right.
That was in actually Portland. Yes.
Yeah. And with that, Adam, your turn. Your time to
That's why they
rate.
moved the baseball team there.
Oh.
That's why.
I'm giving this you know what, Jody, I'm with you. We're gonna give it a 3, and I give it because Mariel Enos has joined the cast.
Okay. To me,
I was completely bored through this whole thing.
Oh yeah. I had a hard time even staying on the TV. I was like, I could go do something else.
I'll go 6. All right.
6.
It's gonna be the high score of the night.
That's gonna be
Yes,
the-
yes, it is.
I like how he said that. That's gonna be the high score tonight.
3. This is boring.
Okay.
Yeah, see, all shun me, and then all of a sudden it's 3-3-3.
You're a trendsetter, Jody. Really. Heather.
Obviously. Say it, Heather. Say it.
4.
4. You just wanted to one up me. That's all.
I did.
I know.
And Jeff.
4.2 because I wanted to smoke a big blunt,
Mhm.
but I didn't have any.
So
I don't even think weed could have made this better.
Wow.
there was weed in the episode. They were smoking weed in the episode. Come on.
Space weed.
Space weed, grown by Grandpa Baldwin himself. Okay,
Oh,
we are averaging 3.9. That is one of our lowest ratings for almost any episode, I think.
dismal. That's
I
one of
think
our
it is
lowest
actually the
ratings for
lowest.
any show ever since I've
I
been
think we had a
joining
4.
this podcast.
This is a premiere. Like, this is
Yeah,
not
for
like
premiere, this
you know,
sucks.
4th
It's
episode. They'd have
Yeah,
Crazy.
it very much
This
felt like a
feels like
middle episode.
It feels like
Yeah.
a web episode. Like this is something they release like before the hype, you know?
right.
But they watched this at Apple and they said, "We're giving you another season. Let's go."
Yeah, we gotta redo this.
Now,
So-
what did IMDb rate it?
7.3.
IMDb is right now the score is 7.3 with
What?
300. So I guess I'm closer to the normal. Yeah. So that's
I
we'll see if that
want-
holds.
I want
7.3.
a-
Sorry.
I want somebody to do a report on the differences between people who rated this episode a 7 and people who still think that Starfleet Academy was good.
Well,
That's
you
what I
know,
want. I wanna see
some
if
people
there's
here
a
haven't
correlation.
seen it. Don't get them going. You know, Jeff might love it, and so might Heather. So
I'm gonna go out on a whim and say Jeff definitely wouldn't.
Oh, Star Trek Lee? I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah. And as for Heather, I think she'll like some of the outfits.
I do.
All right. Well, okay. So that is our ratings for First Light. It was a round of applause all everywhere. Everyone loved it, and let's look ahead to the next episode. It's called The Hard Six,
Oh,
and
good.
Roll a hard 6.
sometimes you get to roll a hard 6.
Yeah, look
Maybe
at
Jeff does have that body.
no,
I think
he
you guys-
does.
I think you guys were wrong. I think that is his body.
I
He's
think
Mr.
it is, 'cause he looks
Mr.
real.
Terrific, you know. So
I don't
let's
know
see.
about that.
Watch out for Dev with
You
the
got
muscles.
that Mars workout body.
Yeah. Also, we have other stuff going on here. So we were doing TNG on Monday nights, but now since we moved For All Mankind back to Monday nights, we are moving TNG to Thursdays. And on Thursday, we are covering The Best of Both Worlds, season 3, episode 26,
banger.
and season 4, episode
Please tell me
1.
I'm on it.
You're not gonna get a 3.9 on that, baby.
Anybody
Nobody-
who rates that under an 8, I will personally be speaking to.
So our dad is coming for this.
Oh,
Oh God, he might give
He
it a
might.
3.9.
No, he asked to come for this. It's the only he never had much time for Next Generation, but the one thing he was like impressed with was that episode. So yeah. Anyway, we got Heather and Adam coming. Jody, you can come too because my dad barely talks, so it
That's
will
true.
be.
and I talk too much, so we'll level it out.
Yeah, he'll say.
He might tell you to shut up.
Everybody to show up in their Best of Both Worlds finery because this is probably the best episode of TNG. I expect everybody to turn up and turn out.
Not the
and
best
show up.
episode of TNG.
We'll
It's
see,
good.
Jody.
Sub Rosa is, I don't know if we want to really.
one,
hit that
Cause and effect all day.
Yeah, is cause and effect the one that keep looping.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's.
it's
yeah,
also
that's-
great.
I
Love
think
that.
It's a
one.
great episode.
But
That's the
truly,
top
though,
three.
this is an iconic episode, so
Absolutely.
I'm very, very excited to watch
Very-
it.
As am
And
I.
Rik-
As am
And
I.
Riker still finds ways to annoy me.
Well,
Riker
you know,
is kind of a bitch in this in that first part of the episode. Yeah.
okay.
finds
Well,
a way.
you know. Watch out Thursday. We're going to talk all about it. And on Wednesday, on the Super Mater Brothers podcast, we are covering right now season 50 of Survivor.
Others.
We are brothers. We will be talking about the Blood Moon on which is episode 6 of this
See,
season.
they have such cool names for their episodes, but then it's Survivor.
Jeff Probst is coming for your soul, Jody.
Why is
You
it
know
saying
what?
the
I
hand?
think I might
having
enjoy
an axe?
Survivor more than I like For All Mankind.
Yeah.
He's got a he snuffs the torches, Heather.
Oh, I thought they gave him an axe. I'd start watching if they.
If
let
he
him
started like
that'd
cutting
be
people's
amazing.
heads off with an axe, like yes,
It's
that
like,
would be
You've been eliminated.
Tribe has spoken.
Shop.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
got a
might
show.
do that.
I'd watch that. I'd watch
guess
the
so.
shit out of that show.
The Blood Moon is coming. Anyway, so look out for that. And what else? That's about it right now here on the channel and elsewhere. So thanks for being with us.
asleep now at this point.
Well, it's a late one.
No,
so-
I'm still awake.
Yeah.
I
Oh, I
slept
thought you were
during
still
the I
watching the
slept during the
episode.
show.
Yeah, the show. Woke up,
Wouldn't
went back to
blame
bed.
You probably had better dreams in the episode.
Well, that I got nothing left to say. I suppose we can sign off for tonight. And,
I think we should petition Apple and have another season past the seasons because it's so good.
more. Go to 7. What are we
Yeah.
waiting for?
Oh, you know what? Let's
Uh,
make it an even 10.
Like
You know
guys,
what they
we're gonna
should
be-
make? For All Mankind Academy, Mars Academy.
It would still be better than.
I think that's what this season is going to be.
I think
Yeah.
that's where we're going.
yeah, they've learned
We're
from
going
all
to
the
be talking
success.
about this till the end of May. Okay, guys? Like, it just feels like a long time.
The end of May, and then we'll have to wait 2 years for the next season, and then we'll be like,
I'm
remember?
not gonna lie. I have regrets.
But then again, too few to mention. All right. Well, let's sign off for tonight.
Oh,
We'll see
not
you
gonna
next time here on Live Long and Podcast. You have a great night, and we'll see you next time, everyone. Where is it? There
It's the
it is.
button that says end.
Let's
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.